Hey, welcome everyone. This is Mike from ZozoStockWatch.com, and this is your stock watch list for Thursday, the 8th of March. Before we get into the stock watch list and the news after hours tonight, just want to to you about how news can help you. This is a segment from the Trade Exchange news service that we traded off of today. AMD unconfirmed chatter involved Microsoft. So let's take a look. So in the service, I saw this coming in on the news feed. And I called AMD over $11.98 for the break of 12. And there you see the big pop in AMD on that alert from the trade exchange. Got up as high as $12.82. That's a day maker. That's a day maker right there. All you needed was this one, 1,000 shares, 500 shares, up to 1182, and you could have been selling on the way up. And that was basically from the trade exchange. That's why I use them. Fast news, built for traders by traders. So I took this and turned it into a nice profit today for the room, as we called AMD over $11.98, and the stock pushed up higher to $12.82. So very nice day from AMD. The big news after the bell was Costco. That was the big earnings announcement, the big company that came out after the bell. Costco earnings per share revenue beat, but the it was $1.59 consensus and versus $1.46 comparable. It was because I think Costco had one extra selling day this quarter, so that's why it wasn't comparable. And let's see, Costco had a revenue of 32.99 billion versus 32.72 billion expected, so they beat on revenue. But then believe here the company gained an incremental sales day in the quarter due to the shift of Thanksgiving. However, pre-Thanksgiving and Black Friday holiday weekend sales fell in the first quarter this year versus the second quarter last year. This negatively impacted this year's second quarter sales by approximately 1.4% in the US and slightly less worldwide, and negatively impacted e-commerce sales by approximately 7 to 8%. All right, Costco February total comp sales up 10.5%. Versus estimated up 8%. So it all sounds good. Um, but then there was talk that the number missed. All right, so when the news first came out, Costco popped up to $193, and then after that, all this other information came out on Costco, and then that stock sold off and went right back down to the lows on Costco. So, big pop and then pullback in Costco. EYES had earnings after the bell tonight, and that stock was moving up in the after hours on EYES. So a little bit confusing there on Costco. Big pop, and then it pulled back. And there was some other companies that came out. A lot of smaller companies. Meet, MEET. That stock popped at first when their earnings came out, beat by a penny, beat on revenue, but then the stock sold off, probably on their conference call. All these companies have conference calls after the bell, and if you're ever looking to see, you want to listen to some conference calls, you can go to earningscast.com /calendar/daily, and you can see a listing of all those conference calls. So earningscast.com, and you can see and hear all those conference calls if you like. And then after that, let's see if there was any other Let's see. Wynn Resorts had a presentation after the bell tonight. I read that they were raising the dividend on Wynn, WYNN. So a nice move up in the after hours on Wynn. So they're raising that dividend, and they had a conference call in the 5 o'clock hour, I think it was tonight. Brew Alliance, they beat by a penny, revenue in line. So BREW, that's a beer maker, distributor, very thin stock, not too much going on. VSLR, this is a solar. They missed by 11 cents, missed on revenue. So VSLR, very, very low volume stock. Anyway, that one is down in the after hours. VKTX Viking trial achieves primary, secondary endpoints, and that was on VKTX. And that stock actually popped up on that, but then pulled back. They had earnings come out, and I think their earnings missed. As I'm scrolling through, we'll see if I can land on that. Yeah, here it is. VKTX, they actually beat by 4 cents, but still the stock after the pop here, they moved it back down. VKTX. Evoke Pharma beats by 16 cents, so EVOK. That stock moving up in the after hours, a small $2 stock on EVOK. Let's see if there was anything else. Um, Rick Hospitality, RICK, not much after hours. They beat by 8 cents, beat on revenue. Let's see, North Korea to offer conditional halt to its ICBM program report. So I guess that's good news from North Korea. And then here comes our top insider purchases, just popping into the room here. Top insider purchases, courtesy of the trade exchange. Let's see, Fold is on there, PRGO. So some directors and companies are purchasing some shares there, and they get listed as the top insider purchases. Some earnings before the bell tomorrow. AEO, BIOS. Let's see, EYEI, and Kroger. All right, so there's a couple of names for you before the bell tomorrow, and then after the bell tomorrow, AREX, Bold, Cala, CALA, Finisar, FNSR, Loco, restaurant company there, will be reporting earnings. Don't forget, the main thing to worry going forward now, other than some Fed speak. Actually, we got through most of the Fed speak now, but we have the employment situation 8:30 on Friday. So that's the main thing coming up for the week ahead. We're pretty much getting through most of the earnings. There's today, there's tomorrow, American Eagle Outfitters, Kroger tomorrow. So there's your snapshot of the earnings. And then Friday, Revlon, Big Lots, and a few others coming out with earnings for the days coming up. So here's a little thing from Barron's. Dow drops 80 points as tariffs fail to tear down the market. All right, so the market, opened up. I think it was down like 300 points today, and then basically we ended up only down 80 points on the Dow. So nice recovery there by the bulls after all that turmoil about Trump's chief economic officer leaving, Gary Cohn. He was leaving the administration. He is leaving the administration. Then I guess cooler heads prevailed, and so the market bounced up. Let's check out the action. I don't think I need this anymore. We'll get it out of our way. Let's check out the action in the SPY. We'll look at the markets just a little bit, and then we'll go into the watch list. So let's see. Here was the action in the market today, basically. We had the market coming down to about this, 270 area, and then basically they bounced it up. We're still below the 50 SMA on the daily chart, though, for the SPY. All right, so we're still below this 50 SMA. and haven't been able to clear it. IWM was very strong. The Russell 2000 very strong. IWC, the micro caps, very strong showing today. The Qs are much stronger than the SPY at the moment. The Dow Jones is the weakest indice at the moment, holding this 100 SMA well below the 50 SMA here on the Dow Jones. The transports right now also under the 50 SMA and trying to hold the 100 SMA on the transports. SMH is doing very well though. The semiconductor sector doing very well. You know, the names like Intel, Nvidia, MU, things like that. And you know, the Qs themselves looking very nice over the 10 SMA and moving up nicely. You know, the Amazons continue to move up. Google making a nice move. Facebook, nice recovery there, back over the 50 SMA. Apple, well, Apple's still under the 10 SMA, but holding up okay for Apple. Bookings, Priceline, another new high today. BKNG is the new symbol for Priceline. All right, so that moved up nicely today. Netflix, even though they got a little bit of a target reduction. Oh no, actually, target was 325 from Stifel. So that stock holding up well on Netflix, and then I guess we'll take a look at Nvidia, the leader, kind of in the semis, trying to get back over, you know, 240. 240, 250, 244 in that area. Intel very strong, making a nice move up for Intel. And lastly, just look at Microsoft holding up very nice on Microsoft. All right, so oh, we had some call activity. I'll bring this back. We had some nice call activity in 3D Systems, January 15th call activity. PayPal had unusual call activity in it today. That chart starting to set up nicely. April 85 call activity for PayPal. NUAN, unusual call activity. April 16 call activity. So NUAN, a nice pop in that one, 2.5 million shares. CRC, May 16 call activity on CRC. Not much of a reaction today, though, looking at the daily. MDCO also had call activity today. March 35s for the call activity. Not much reaction, still under the 200 SMA there for that call activity. Some of the names that were moving up strong today, we had PIXY, big pop in PIXY, MED, big pop in that name today. RGNX, a 7.95% move in RGNX. RADA, nicely up today. Autodesk after their earnings, ADSK, nice pop on Autodesk. ABCD. Nice big move in ABCD, and FLKS, another name that moved up sharply. ANF had earnings today, released the earnings, nice move up by Abercrombie and Fitch. H&R Block also popped and held up on their earnings as we go into tax season. CLSD, they actually did an offering last night, but did not affect the stock. Stock held up pretty well on CLSD. So that's some of your movers to the upside. Some stocks, I won't go through them on the chart, but some stocks that were moving down, Dollar Tree moved down, SHIP moved down today, BZUN moved down, Carvana was down, one of the losers for today, and VEON, another one, Ross Stores, ROST, down for the day. So that's some stocks that were down for the day, and we'll go ahead and get into that watch list. All right, so here is your watch list for tomorrow. The airlines are a mixed bag, but I'll give you some names that are holding up okay. American Airlines holding up above the 50 SMA. We also had JetBlue holding up above the 50 SMA, so that one looking good. And lastly, in the airline sector, we have this SkyWest holding up nicely back over the 10 SMA, kind of just treading water here right now, but holding above the 50 SMA. So a few airlines that look okay. I'll have AMD on watch, see if I can get a repeat performance of that nice move on uh, on that news today on AMD, so that'll be on watch. ATOM, a little bit light in the volume, but nice candle here, getting over the 10 SMA on ATOM. Only thing though, very light in volume. That's a problem. Baba making a nice move here. Maybe it wants to get up through 190 and continue up on Baba. CAMT holding the 50 SMA. A little bit light in the volume on this one, but volume can always show up. So it's a nice candle. We did get a little bit rejected here. We got pushed back from $7, so I'll keep that one on watch. CMC, a steel name. Looks like it's turning the corner here, holding above all the fast moving averages. So CMC will be on watch. EKSO was getting some action today. This is the one that has that deal with Ford, I believe. So keep an eye on EKSO. 1.1 million shares, getting back over the 50 SMA and hanging around this $1.75 area on EKSO. EYES. When I put this on the list, it was getting a pop from its earnings, but it pulled back, so I don't like it as much. Galt had a nice day today, GALT, nice pop. Volume still under a million shares though, but nice candle there. We'll see if it wants to make a continuation move. HTGM had a very nice pop, 3.2 million shares. We'll see if there's any kind of like red to green move or like a pullback move or a consolidation on a 5 minute chart or 2 minute chart, and maybe we get a play in HTGM. LLNW may be starting to turn the corner here. Has this 450 area up ahead. It is above the 50 SMA. Most people don't even have this white line, the 100 SMA, on their charts. So if it can get over 450, you might get something out of LLNW. Mark, nice move up here. Got up to 850, so this will be on watch to see if it can set up intraday volume about 500,000 shares. Momo had earnings today, nice pop. We'll see if there's any kind of continuation move in that one. MRVL had unusual options activity. It was mentioned by John Najarian. It's kind of basing under that 2375 area. And had a high today of 2385. So if it can get over the highs today, you might get that break through $24. So there was call activity in this one. NUAN, I told you about the call activity in NUAN. So this one will be on watch tomorrow. Maybe it gets a continuation move there. OGEN had a big pop. It's a biotech name. Popped all the way up to $4 today. 3.8 million shares. So that'll be on watch. PIXY. Continued moving in the after hours, so I like it less. It's a big move, so I don't know. It's on watch, but I don't think I'll get a trade in it tomorrow. PayPal, possible move up here. The high today was 79.56. We had a previous high of 79.95, so maybe 79.75, enough to get PayPal going. RADA, nice candle here, nice volume, 2 million shares. We'll see if this sets up intraday RIGL. Nice breakout move here, right? Must have had news today, and 4.5 million shares. So we'll see if this will set up intraday. Schnitzer Steel, have to be careful when you say that one. Schnitzer Steel, trying to get back over the 50 SMA steel company, but I actually like the setup in CMC a little bit better than Schnitzer Steel right now. So CMC would be my top one right now in the steel sector. Yelp had a nice pop today, so we'll see maybe if this pulls back, maybe we could get an entry for a swing trade. Yandex, Tim Seymour on CNBC Fast Time show Was talking about Yandex, and he actually moved it up. The closing price was 43.16. He popped it all the way up to 44.75 on the mention on the CNBC show by Tim Seymour, or is it Seymour? I think it's Seymour. And so this one will be on watch. It's a Russian. It's kind of the Google of Russia, he was saying. So that's Yandex. So we'll see on that. ZN, an oil name holding up pretty well. You see this a perfect pennant formation here, and we're breaking out with that 450 number up above. So keep your eye on Zion Oil, a Israeli company. So if this can get up over 450, you might get a nice continuation move on ZN. All right, so that's the watch list, everybody. Thanks for watching. My name is Mike, and I'm the trader at ZozoStockwatch.com. I'm the trader owner, and come check us out. All right, ZozoStockwatch.com. Have a great night, everybody.